So my name is Tamás Bíró. I founded this company with two other friends 15 years ago, so it's in 1995, actually 16 years ago this year. We were university students and we had lots of free time because we never attended classes, actually. And that was too boring, and we wanted to do something fascinating and also be rich, like in possibly 2 years. Which didn't happen because we were, too young and enthusiastic. But we founded this company and we started writing software. And in about 2 years, we realized that it's not gonna work the way we imagined it. So we started learning how to do it. So most of it from friends and from books and from our mistakes. And then we, for example, my business partner, who is the CEO, still the CEO, Sándor, he had this assignment from the university that imagine that you're the CEO of a company, and said, oh yes, I can imagine that. And we wrote his homework, which was our first strategy, written strategy, and things like that. So we started very small, from 1 million forints, and now in 15 years time we are a quite big company of 50 with almost $2 million of revenues. Sándor was the young entrepreneur of the year last year. We are a growing company, and we got invested 5 years ago by Primus Capital. What we do is, because that was part of the question, we do content management software. After founding the company in 2 years, we started focusing on Microsoft technologies, later the Microsoft .NET technology, and we became partners, and we started building websites, and sooner or later we decided to create our own CMS, content management system. And now we've just launched version 6, which is the 6th version of this enterprise content management system. And we have really huge references, like the National Bank uses it, mnb.hu, for example, the Portal of Budapest, and many other big utilities, banks, and other companies like Malev, the Hungarian Airlines, for example. And our focus for the last 2 years was export and building the software for export, because we almost cover the majority of the Hungarian market. We have limited growth possibilities, and of course fierce fight with the competition, who use either large multinational companies' software such as Microsoft SharePoint, or smaller but also quite big and famous software like Sitecore and stuff like that. We even have a Slovakian competitor. And it's competing with large companies like IBM or Oracle or Microsoft is not easy, but possible. We found that market niche where there was no software. Which is a very interesting story, because part of it was getting the money, but I think the biggest advantage of a venture capital was that it changed our thinking, and we were too much managerial thinking, so we thought as managers of the company, and after that we started thinking as owners. As we were also managers, but we started separating these two from each other and starting building a professional company, which works as it should be according to hierarchies and stuff like that. We were profitable, so we didn't. Many people think that you go to an investor if you don't have any more money, which would be quite stupid, and your company is not worth enough to get a good investment. You have to get an investment when you're really profitable, and then boost your company, like double the speed that as you develop, or have money for marketing, international marketing and stuff like that. And that's exactly what we did. So we wanted to boost the company, and we needed the extra cash so that we can risk a little bit more. The problem with spending your own money when you earn your money and you grow organically is that you have limited resources and you really think twice and when you spend that money, and you don't go into risky things. You don't have the money to trial and error, to try something and then fail and try another one and fail, because you can't try it third time because you don't have any more money. And when we got this bigger sum of money, we kind of had this room for playing and trying out ideas. And yes, we lost some money as part of this trial and error process, but also we got some good results as well. And of course, if you're good, the good results are more. Most of the cases are good results and not bad. If you're doing it the other way around, you're part of the portfolio of the investor, which is going to fail. Mm-hmm. And as far as we see, SenseNet is not that. So we are the kind of company that is going to be worth like 30 times the price that when we got invested. Yes, you never talk to one investor. That would be quite stupid. Of course, there are just a few companies who invest in that side, like 3 to 5. So we talked to all of them. I think we talked to all of them. It's a small country and small market. So we knew from friends and other companies who got invested. We asked for a few names. We talked to all of them, and very soon we got built up a really good relationship with Zoltán in a few weeks, and then we decided to go with Primus. It's mostly a personal thing, so the personal relation with the guy who is representing that company is very important. If you don't feel the love at first sight with the investor, I wouldn't go into that. Mm-hmm. So you have to have this chemistry with the person who represents it, and hopefully he's going to represent the investor for long. But of course you have to prepare for the changes. So if the guy leaves the company and there's some other guy comes who works differently, of course you have to really define everything in a 60-page legal contract, so that if you get into a situation when there is some dispute, and you can resolve it really quickly. Most of them. Of course, in business you never get 100% in any situation. What we missed is that we expected more international contacts from Primus, and as it turned out that they have contacts in the financial world and not in the technology world. But that's also good, because when it comes to exit, that's the basic point. So I don't think it's a very big. We thought that this relationship will end up with lots of contacts. I think this is what we missed, but we learned a lot from this working together. We started measuring our company from a financial point of view. We changed a lot on the bookkeeping, so that. Communicating the financial results became part of our life. Calculating with the EBITDA value is a daily task for every manager, because it has to be maximized. So, and until that we were a professional company from the technology point of view. So we delivered great software, we delivered great solutions. People loved it. We had, like. The National Bank is our customer for 8 years, and they don't return for nothing, so they return because we are giving good service. But when we got invested and we started thinking differently about this situation, we became professional in the business way as well, I think, and we needed it. And I think this is even better than the money part. The thing that I said, that we never prepared the financial report for the investor. We prepared it for ourselves because we need it. What we learned from the investor is that we really need that. So, and then we just sent him a copy. So it's not a very big thing. I heard horror stories about CEO spending 2 weeks out of 4 every month preparing reports. That is stupid. And that is stupid from the part of the investor too, because why would you give your money to someone who spends half of his time reporting instead of generating revenues and most rather profits? When you're getting an investment, I think you have to be really careful about choosing your partner from, and you have to talk about these and write down everything in advance. So even maybe you have, work out the Excel or the database or whatever you're using to give the report in advance. And we worked on that, we looked at it, expectations management is very important from both sides. So that after signing the contract you don't get surprises that, okay, here is this dozen forms you have to fill. Whoa, what? You don't want to do that. So you have to prepare all of this stuff in advance so that neither party gets surprises. At first we had board meeting every week, and sooner or later Zoltán realized that it's not needed. And every month, sometimes even every other month. So, but of course this depends on how good you are. So if you're working well, your results are good, the investor is going to leave you alone and wait for the profits. One of the typical mistakes is from the investor part expecting too much results, and from the company part is hoping to get really great results, like quadrupling your results in 1 year. Well, on some exceptional cases it can be done, but most businesses don't quadruple in 1 year. And what they signed is, this particular company, is that if they get the results it's okay, but if they don't, then they have to give up more and more of their percentage and get some more money, and stupid construction. It's stupid from the side of the investor too, because he's just losing his money, and the entrepreneurs very soon lose their interest in the whole thing. Try to think like an investor. That's my advice to anyone who's getting an investment. So is think about it. If you had the money, would you give it to them, to you, to yourself? So or no? Because if you wouldn't give it to if you had money, and would you invest that in the thing that you're proposing? And if you would, you just don't get the money, then they will also feel this thing. If you wouldn't, they will sense it, and then it's just a waste of time, going through. And hire a good lawyer for codifying the results of the negotiations. So because if you write your contract in a sloppy way, it gives room for lots of argument between you, especially if the persons change. So and when you're writing a contract, you have to prepare for everything, even the worst of worst, people dying, September 11, whatever. So you get really paranoid when writing a contract, and then forget about it, because a contract is for disputes. My advice is this: a good contract, a good deal. You have to feel comfortable about your deal. If you're not, don't sign it. Tell the investor the truth, that hey, man, I'm sorry, but I don't feel okay about this point, and it bothers me. And this bothers me today, but in 3 years' time it's going to freak me out because it builds up.